everybody, this is Tanuja here. I am a mind-body transformation whiz and a nutritionist helping women who are high achievers and they are done feeling crappy get their lives back. It's all about reclaiming your fun, freedom and power. And today we are going to be talking about diabetes, insulin resistance and sugar cravings and what it all means and what needs to be done about it. Because honestly, I am sick and tired of people telling me that they don't understand what's going on with their bodies. They have sugar cravings, their doctor has told them they have insulin resistance, or they're pre-diabetic, or they are diabetic, and they've been following a certain diet plan and nothing's working, they're still not losing the weight. The reason behind that is you do not understand what's going on in the body. Having a diagnosis like you have prediabetes or diabetes is not the end all. That's just the beginning. You need to understand how it's affecting your body, what's going on in the body that's causing you to have these diagnoses or symptoms, and what needs to be done in order to address the root cause of these things so that you can actually do something which will make a difference, right? So just exercise and body and diet are one part of the whole equation. It is not the end. It is not, about just stopping sugar in your diet. It's not just about so it's not just about stopping to eat certain things. It's not just about you trying to exercise more, calorie in, calorie out. That is not the only thing that needs to be done. You need to understand what is going on in the body. So let's get the fundamentals really clear, because I was having a conversation with this wonderful lady this morning. She's been suffering with weight issues for a long period of time. She's been on different diets. She loses the weight, it comes back, and now she's recently been diagnosed with insulin resistance. And she really is fed up. She is trying to find the answer of what is going on in her body, what can she do so that she has results where she doesn't, progressively get worse, but rather get better. So let's understand what happens in the body. When you have sugar cravings, it basically means you either have a blood sugar imbalance. That means the levels of sugar in your blood are either too high or too low. It could be either, right? And or there could be other reasons behind sugar cravings, but that is one of the main ones. This blood sugar imbalance, if it goes unchecked for a considerable period of time, then you get what we call insulin resistance over time, over years. And when the insulin resistance continues again over a period of time, extended period of time, that's when you get diabetes. So what is really happening in the body? When you eat something that has got carbs, that has sugar, and the body has to process it, right? There is only a certain amount of sugar that should be in your bloodstream at a particular time, because the body wants to be in a state of balance. Now, when that happens and you have excess blood sugar, the brain tells the pancreas to release insulin. Insulin is the hormone which comes and takes care of that blood sugar. That means it takes away the excess blood sugar. So where does it take it? It takes it away, it balances, it makes it all good, but that excess sugar is taken and stored as fat, predominantly in your abdominal area, right? So you start putting on weight on the side. Now, over time, if this cycle continues, and you have to keep producing insulin all the time, which is a normal part of what the body does. But if the amount of food that you're eating, the carbs that you're eating, or the way that you're eating is putting too much pressure on your pancreas, it has to keep producing more and more insulin, and it cannot keep up anymore. So eventually, it either can't produce enough insulin, or your cells become resistant to the insulin that is being produced. So you need to actually produce more insulin for it to do its job. This stage is called insulin resistance. And if this is unchecked over a longer period of time, then this develops into diabetes, because basically at that point your pancreas cannot produce enough insulin to keep up with the demands of the body, and you will have full-blown diabetes. So the analogy I gave this lady in the morning was, imagine there is a flood and your water is filling into the house, right? So now you are trying to take a bucket and pour the water out of the house so that you clean up the floors and you basically have a dry house. You can do that for a certain amount of time. But if the water still keeps gushing in and gushing in, you'll get tired eventually, and you'll start feeling exhausted, and you can't keep up with the amount of water that is coming in and amount of flushing out that you are doing with your little bucket. That is what insulin resistance is, whereas you are tiring out and the rate at which you can clear out the water is way less than the rate at which it is coming in the house. Eventually you might call people for help, which is when you might be put on a medication, and that medication is just helping you. So unless you stop the flow of water into the house, you can keep trying and getting exhausted, but you will never be able to get the house completely dry. So you need to make sure that that source of water, that flooding from wherever it's happening, is shut off or it's taken care of, so that the water stops dripping into the house. That's one of the things that we have to do when we are talking about blood sugar imbalances or about managing diabetes. So you really have to take care of not just a medication. You don't just have to take a medication and mask the symptoms that, okay, I had a high blood sugar, now I've taken the medicine and it's going to be all okay. That's fine. That's needed as a temporary measure. It's just like that bucket thing that you're doing, right? You're pouring off the water and you're clearing it out. That's the temporary solution. The thing is, you have to understand what is causing the water to come in and how can you fix that. So it's the same thing. You've got to control how the sugar is coming into your body. What are you eating? When are you eating? How are you eating? Is your digestion up to par? Can it manage all the food that is coming its way? Because if not, then you could again be eating healthy stuff, but you're not getting the nutrients in the body. You might be having stress and hormonal imbalances, which might also be adding to the problem of weight gain and blood sugar imbalances. You might be not sleeping well. There are so many reasons that go on behind one little thing, right? The body works as a whole. It's not just one thing or the other. It's not just, oh, my pancreas is not working and it's not producing enough insulin. Or it's not just that, oh, my digestion is crappy and I can't digest foods and I'm constipated and I'm bloated. Everything, the body works as a whole. Everything is in sync. When one thing goes out of whack, the other body systems are affected too. So really try and understand when you have any sort of symptoms that the root cause needs to be addressed. And this, a friend of mine who I was actually speaking to in the morning, she has been on this roller coaster of diets and jumping from one dietitian to another, to one doctor to another, and trying different things and joining clubs and exercising and going to the gym. Nothing has helped long term. And there's a reason behind that, because all that they are focusing on so far has been calories in, calories out. Nothing else. In fact, the diet that she described to me is so high in carbs. No wonder she is not losing weight. No wonder her blood sugar levels are inconsistent and she's developed insulin resistance. So unless that root cause is fixed, she will not feel better. We need to get to the root. That is the most important thing. So you can run around doing 20 different things which give you the same result or no result. But until you get to the root cause, most likely you will not start feeling better. And that is what I'm asking you to think about today. If you've been experiencing symptoms of any sorts, whether it is, insulin resistance or weight issues or cholesterol or inflammation in the body, whatever are your symptoms, if they've continued and if you've tried everything else in the world that you can think of, then obviously there is some missing piece which you haven't discovered, and you need to investigate what that missing piece is. And literally after our call, she was like, I feel so much better because now I understand. I kept asking my dietitian, what is insulin resistance? but nobody explained to me. So just having that one conversation where she understood what was happening in her body makes a big difference, because it's your body. Once you start understanding what's going on, then you're more motivated to take action and to see results. Because otherwise, where does motivation come from? Motivation comes from you. It comes from within. It doesn't come from outside. I can talk and give you motivational quotes all day long, but until you feel inside you that you are ready to take action, you will not take action. And it becomes easier to take action once you understand what's going on with your body. So really, 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 this is my plea to you, because I am literally sick and tired of hearing this conversation over and over from people that I don't know what's going on. Nobody's telling me. I've Googled. Please get to the root of it. Talk to the people who specialize in these things and get the answers you need, because unless you take care of the root cause, the condition will not improve. It might just get worse, and then it might be, too much to handle. So while things are still, sort of, I shouldn't say normal, but while things are still at the beginning stage, that's the best time to take care of it. So I hope this really clarifies what diabetes, how diabetes sets in, what is insulin resistance, how are sugar cravings tied up with it, and there are plenty of other videos I've done about sugar cravings. There are articles on my website about blood sugar imbalances, so you can go read those. You can watch my other videos. There's a 3-day sugar detox that I have on my website as well, and I can post a link here. So if you want to start with that, do that, but get to the root of what's going on with your symptoms. Just popping pills is not the answer. They might be necessary in the short term, maybe even in the long term, but if you can reduce your dependence on medication, or if you can get rid of them altogether, why not be in that state than being so dependent on medication and being overwhelmed and not knowing what you need to do. So that was my little message for today. I hope it makes sense and it resonates with you. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in here. I'll come back and answer them for you. I did post about this live stream earlier, and I did get some questions. These are the ones that I have answered through the live stream today. So hopefully your questions were answered, those of you who asked, and if they weren't, please let me know, and I will definitely come back and either do another live stream or answer it in the thread here. So you guys have a wonderful Thursday afternoon. If you have any other topics that you want to know about, let me know. Feel free to hop in to my Facebook group called Wellbeing Unleashed, and we can carry on the conversation there as well. So take care and have a great Thursday. Bye.